Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you would never ask, Heidi. Today's Friday. It is the 16th day of February. Today is Innovation Day. It is National Almond Day. I'm a big fan of almonds.
I am too.
But if I eat too many of them, then I just feel like I don't need almonds for a while. So just a few here and there. It is Tim Tam Day today. Okay.
Right.
And National Do a Grouch a Favor Day today. So if you know somebody that's grouchy, you might want to reach out and see if they need any favors done. I had to look up Tim Tam. Tim Tam falls on February 16th each year. It's well known to all that Tim Tam biscuits are a national treasure for Australians. Well, there you go. Now I got to see if I can get me a Tim Tam because it kind of sounds good. It looks good, too. Got a guest joining me today. Speaking of Australia, Terry Hayes. The Year of the Locust is his newest book. You might have heard of Mad Max.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he did the screenplay for that, a couple of films there. He's done a lot of cool stuff. He's an interesting dude, and we're going to chat with Terry Hayes coming up.
Give yourself a little credit.
I've been telling you about BetterCreditCards.com for a few years now. I'd love for you to take a few minutes today to check out the website. Who knows? You might find a better credit card, one that offers a better rate, or a credit card that offers cash back, airline miles, or other points and perks that can help you. Check it out now.
Give yourself a little credit. Go ahead and switch to BetterCreditCards.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. A new survey from Redecor, a real-life designing simulation game, uncovered that dirty towels are a relationship deal breaker, literally. 75% of women said they would consider breaking up with their partner if they did not have clean towels at their home. Other red flags include not having window covers or curtains, 33%, not having a couch, 23%. Yet, shockingly, only 17% considered no television to be a red flag. Women also shared that having no bed frame or a mattress right on the floor would give them a major ick for a new guy. 48% said that. Followed by any holes in their comforter, 45%, and any sort of club lighting like lava lamps or neon, 30%. There's a bunch of other data here as well from Redecor. If you'd like to read the details, I've got them in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Insurance. It's important to have insurance, but it's more important to have the right insurance. After all, if you're not covered, it's like not even having insurance. Make sure you're covered for whatever claim might come your way with InsuranceChicken.com, helping you peck out great insurance deals in your area. You need insurance on your car anyway. Why not get great rates for great insurance from InsuranceChicken.com? That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Did you know? Brought to you by GenesisGoldIRA.com. Heidi, did you know that 1 in 3 people believe that aliens live among us? And many suspect their boss might be an alien. Really? Greetings, Earth people. A new survey of 1,000 Americans, 37% said they think ET may already have been here. On the other hand, 41% disagree with that idea.
That's a pretty substantial number.
22% said that they're unsure. In the survey conducted for Wealth of Geeks, okay, here's the funny part. When they asked, who do you think might be an alien? 39% said, I think my boss has good possibility of being an alien. And then a third of them picked a random celebrity. They found that men are slightly more likely than women to feel that aliens exist, 56% to 49%.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, we're going to count to 3, and we're going to either say yes or no if you believe aliens exist. 1, 2, 3. Yes.
No.
I think they exist. You don't?
I know.
All right. Well, what do you think, folks? Am I right?
And
or
if they
is
do,
Heidi
they're
wrong?
certainly not living amongst us. And I don't know.
Look, there's an alien right behind you. All right. We don't know everything, but now we know this.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com. Get set for Bridgerton Season 3. More than a year after the second season of this hit historical fiction romance debuted, the show is set to return in May, and Netflix has released the first trailer, a little teaser trailer for the next chapter. If you want to see what's going to be happening in Bridgerton, I know I'm on the edge of my seat. You can click a link in my show notes for today, and there's a link to the trailer. And Saltburn and Euphoria star Jacob Eldori is being accused of assaulting a reporter. known for his social media stunts. The actor is said to have been involved in an altercation outside of a hotel in Sydney, Australia, after returning to his homeland for some awards there. Eldore was reportedly approached by the host, who, frustrated with questions, he was very frustrated. Police say the 32-year-old man was allegedly assaulted then by the 26-year-old man, who did not sustain any injuries. The investigation is ongoing.
Yikes.
So, yeah, calm down, everybody. Big Screen, Little Screen, brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com.
What could you do with an extra $129 a month? In this economy, every penny counts. So an extra $129 each month would absolutely help. Well, 97% of us have a cell phone, and the average person pays $144 a month. Mint Mobile can help you save a mint. At just $15 a month, that's an average savings of $129 each month. It's time for a Mintervention. Switch and save today. Get this special offer at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Time now for the scoop of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. But today, we're going to be talking about travel. According to this, travelers are spending more and staying longer this year. So the travel trend is indulgence. Does that sound right?
No.
Well,
I'm surprised, actually, with the cost of things.
It says, according to the latest data, travelers spent 35% more per trip in 2023 than they did in 2022. And
Is that because it's more expensive?
That could be why. But they increased the length of their stay by more than 20%. So they stayed 20% longer, but spent 35% more. So yeah, I think it was more expensive. So they're like, if we're going to be flying all the way there, we're going to make it worthwhile.
Right, I suppose.
So this report was released on National Plan for Vacation Day. This was at the very end of January when this was sent to me. They said, I'm kind of skimming through all of this here because there's a whole bunch of this. It's basically just an ad for the company that sent it to me. So like this here, an average of $3,700 is how much people spent when they booked through this travel company. And they said last year the average booking was over $5,000. So in 2022 it was $3,700. 2023 it was $5,000. Travel time was extended to more than 9 days. That's a long time.
That's awesome.
That is awesome, but that's a long time. They said items that were up also in 2023 compared to 2022. Passport photo requests increased by 32%. Requests for international driving permits increased by 38%. So all of that. And then there's a bunch of information here about the TSA and about other stuff. I've got all of this stuff in the show notes, and I knew I was not going to read it all, but I thought I'm going to put it all here in case anybody is interested in reading it. But it's talking about how apparently the travel for last year was better than 2022. I wonder if it'll be the same for 2024.
I don't know. I guess we'll see.
That would be great. And I would like to go somewhere awesome. So Heidi,
Me
keep that
too.
in mind. Scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Are you being audited or investigated? Has the IRS sent you a letter demanding payment? You may not owe what they claim. Make this free call to the tax doctor now. Let them negotiate with the IRS on your behalf.
800-310-5831. 800-310-5831. That's 800-310-5831.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Excited to visit with best-selling author Terry Hayes. His book, I Am Pilgrim, sold really well. His newest book, The Year of the Locust, is out right now. But one of the things that I think is fascinating, in addition to being an author, he's also a screenwriter. And one of the big films that he started with is Mad Max.
Yeah. I did a screenplay for Road Warrior. That was the first screenplay I ever wrote. And then I went on and wrote, another Mad Max. I wrote Dead Calm with Nicole Kidman. Then I went to Hollywood and wrote a lot of movies there. So, yeah, it started in Australia and it ended up, in Great Barrington, Massachusetts, where I'm speaking to you from now.
That's awesome. And before doing screenplays and writing novels, you were a journalist and worked in radio, right?
Well, yeah, I was a journalist. I was a foreign correspondent, a political correspondent. I think to this day I remain the youngest foreign correspondent ever sent to New York by an Australian newspaper. The best thing about it was they gave me a credit card, so it shows how silly they were. And then I went into producing a top-rating radio current affairs program, and and then into movies. So as my mother says, the problem with you, Terry, is you can't hold a job.
That's awesome. Terry, I think your life is pretty awesome. Do you think that would make a pretty fun movie?
It would depend on who they cast, you know. If they cast anybody that looked like me, nobody would go. If they cast, Brad Pitt, well, I think we'd be in with a chance, but that would be very dishonest, John, very dishonest.
Well, let's talk about this new book, The Year of the Locust. When did you start working on this, and what is the book about?
Well, I started years ago. I'd written a book called I Am Pilgrim, which received, very good, public, good reviews and all of that, and then became an international bestseller. And so there was a lot of pressure on me to do another book. So I started on Year of the Locust, and it took a lot longer than I thought for various reasons, but I'm very proud of it. And that's the important thing as far as I'm concerned, But it tells a story of a man who's what's called a denied access area spy. These are the people that go into the most dangerous parts of the world, into, North Korea, into Yemen, into Gaza, if I was writing it today, into the worst parts of Russia. And he's on a mission to get information from a man who claims to know about an imminent, appalling attack on the West. So our hero Kane goes into Iran to meet with him and get that information, but unfortunately things don't go to plan, and a lot of complications ensue, and quite a few hundred pages later, the Kane has been through the most harrowing series of events. But I don't think I'm giving away any spoilers by saying that he survives it, but he's a very changed man. It's been a pretty awful journey for him, but thank God there are men and women like him in the world.
Terry, the new book, The Year of the Locust, reads very much like a screenplay. Would you like to see this someday maybe become a movie?
Yeah, I'd love to see it on the big screen. I don't want to see it with Steven Seagal playing the lead role. No, I'd rather it wasn't made. But in the hands of a good director and a really good actor, I'd love to see it. Yeah, I'm all for good movies. Unfortunately, they're not that common at the moment, but maybe the cycle will turn and we can get back to making some really tight and terrific movies.
And sadly, I think in Hollywood nowadays, it's just really easy for them to either say, hey, let's do a remake of this, or let's do a sequel to this, just like the recent Mad Max.
Yeah, but that was made by George Miller, the original director of Mad Max, and it's the latest chapter in an ongoing saga. I think and you're quite right about Hollywood not being very imaginative. That's because Hollywood has been taken over by people who didn't have the career on Wall Street that they really wanted. Yeah. So, they thought, oh, well, that didn't work out. We'll go and work at a Hollywood studio. It's not like it used to be where you had a lot of executives who were creatively very strong and willing to take really big risks. Now it's, very much run by the suits, and the suits are not known for their imagination or creativity, unfortunately.
Well, Terry, you're definitely known for your imagination. The Year of the Locust, available now. Terry, thank you for your time, sir.
My pleasure. Thanks for hosting me. Thank you.
Absolutely. The book is out right now. I've got a link to it in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Give yourself a little credit.
I've been telling you about BetterCreditCards.com for a few years now. I'd love for you to take a few minutes today to check out the website. Who knows? You might find a better credit card, one that offers a better rate, or a credit card that offers cash back, airline miles, or other points and perks that can help you. Check it out now.
Give yourself a little credit. Go ahead and switch to BetterCreditCards.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Black bears are not always black. Sometimes black bears can be brown. Sometimes black bears can be cinnamon. Black bears can be yellow. And sometimes black bears can actually be white.
Okay, then why are they called black bears?
Well, I don't know. That's just what they're called. I really don't know. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The original name for a butterfly was what? Do you know?
No.
A flutterby.
Oh, I did too.
So they would flutter by, and then they called them butterflies instead of flutterbys. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The first telephone answering machine was 3 feet tall. An answering
That's not
machine.
convenient.
No, not at all. Can you even imagine? Check the messages. I'm sorry, I'm going to need help. All right, and our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Hippos cannot swim, but they can sleep underwater.
Oh, that's interesting.
How bizarre is that? Several fun facts. Now you know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Insurance. It's important to have insurance, but it's more important to have the right insurance. After all, if you're not covered, it's like not even having insurance. Make sure you're covered for whatever claim might come your way with InsuranceChicken.com, helping you peck out great insurance deals in your area. You need insurance on your car anyway. Why not get great rates for great insurance from InsuranceChicken.com? That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Time now for the Mint Mobile question of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of Mintervention.com. Question, Heidi. Stats show that 13% of us have tried to do this ourselves before finally calling in a professional. 13%? Holy cow. What is it, Heidi? I would never have guessed this. Dental work.
Well, I was going to say pulling a tooth. That was what I was going to guess.
Wow. Well, I'm glad I gave you the answer so you didn't have to be wrong and... Sure, you were going to say that.
I was, because I was thinking of my aunt. She pulls her own teeth instead of going. Yeah.
Don't do that. Go to a dentist.
Nancy.
Oh, my goodness. Dental work, yeah. Okay. Mint Mobile question of the day comes your way, courtesy of Mintervention.com.
What could you do with an extra $129 a month? In this economy, every penny counts. So an extra $129 each month would absolutely help. Well, 97% of us have a cell phone, and the average person pays $144 a month. Mint Mobile can help you save a mint. At just $15 a month, that's an average savings of $129 each month. It's time for a Mintervention. Switch and save today. Get this special offer at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Now, some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Police in Britain stopped a man running with a refrigerator strapped to his back, only to find he wasn't fleeing from a crime at all. He was training for a marathon with a refrigerator on his back.
Wow.
Daniel Fairbrother said he was practicing running with a refrigerator when police put their blue lights on and held up traffic and stopped him to find out what on earth was going on.
Did he steal it?
Understandably, they had not seen anything quite like this before. Fairbrother told a reporter that one of the officers said to him, "You understand, we've got to stop you, right?" Fairbrother explained the refrigerator was helping him train for the London Marathon, where he is going to attempt to break the Guinness World Record for the fastest marathon carrying a major household appliance.
Is that a thing?
It is. The current record is 2 hours, 4 minutes, and 13 seconds. He is currently working on beating that record, running around with a refrigerator. I wonder if he's got a brand new refrigerator, if somebody's sponsoring this.
I cannot even imagine how hard that would be on his knees.
Yeah, it's probably not good. Weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Time now for the list, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. Common problems we face every day that we definitely should have solved by now. According to Reddit, the extremely poor audio quality of fast food drive-thru speakers. Yeah,
yes.
Exactly. You're like, what in the world?
That's not been much of a problem for us lately.
No, we've been avoiding that completely. Uploading your resume, then having to type everything on the next screen. Yeah, why have both? Those stickers on products that leave sticker residue everywhere, come up with a better plan, people. Mm-hmm. When food packages say peel here or tear here, and then it never works.
Make it terrible.
You have to get scissors or a knife to get them out.
Yeah, exactly.
Music volume in movies being so much louder than the dialogue. I complain about that all the time. I'm watching movies. I'm like, I can't hear them speak. But then as soon as the music or an explosion happens, my windows are rattling.
Exactly.
Spam and scam calls and emails. How are those even still a thing? We got to have the technology to stop that. Thin metal handles on cans of paint. There's no better way to carry it without gouging into my hand.
Yeah, that's true.
Cereal bags not having a zipper closure of some sort. Plastic wrap that sticks to everything except for what you want it to. And hard taco shell packaging. It should read 12 shells, 9 after you open them.
That's true.
All of those are things that we should have fixed by 2024. It's the list, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Are you being audited or investigated? Has the IRS sent you a letter demanding payment? You may not owe what they claim. Make this free call to the tax doctor now. Let them negotiate with the IRS on your behalf.
800-310-5831. 800-310-5831. That's 800-310-5831.
Time now for the quote of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. Our quote today is from Mark Twain. I've always said it, and I'll continue to say it. I always thought he seemed like a neat dude. He just had some fun quotes, like this one. The holy passion of friendship is so sweet and steady and loyal and enduring a nature that it will last throughout a whole lifetime, if not asked to lend money. He's basically saying, you'll be best friends forever, as long as you don't ask me for a loan.
That's true.
I've actually been down that road, and I had somebody that needed some money. I'm like, I'm going to just give that to you. It's a gift. You keep it. I don't want you to pay me back. Now we don't have that problem. There you go. Take it. Love you. Keep it. Mom. Quote of the day. just it wasn't my mom. Quote of the day comes your way, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It's adorable. Comes your way courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com. Here's a headline. Lamb Chop comes back. A nostalgic revival on TikTok. In the world of puppetry and children's entertainment, one name stands out. Sherry Lewis, the Peabody Award-winning American ventriloquist and puppeteer, left an indelible mark with her beloved creation, a little sock puppet named Lamb Chop.
I remember Lamb Chop.
Well, Lamb Chop became a household name. The duo captured hearts of all kinds of people. In 1992, they took their talents to PBS with Lamb Chop Play Along, a children's show that not only entertained but also earned an impressive streak of 5 consecutive Emmy Awards. Tragically, the world lost Sherry Lewis to cancer in 1998 at the age of 65. However, the legacy of Lamb Chop now lives on, and there's a delightful twist to the tale. Fast forward to the present, Lamb Chop is making a triumphant return, this time on the digital stage of TikTok. Sherry Lewis has a daughter, Mallory Lewis, and Mallory has taken the reins and is introducing a whole new generation, to the charm of Lamb Chop.
Oh, cute.
What makes this revival even more heartwarming is that Mallory still possesses the original Lamb Chop doll.
I would hope so.
A tangible link to the past. And I have to say, she has an amazing likeness of her mother. She looks very, very much like her mother. And if you'd like to see, there is a video on the TikTok, if you'd like to check it out. I'm on the TikTok now, Heidi.
That's wonderful, John.
You can check it out. Again, I've got a link to it in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. And again, there's a link there with videos and more to this story if you'd like to read it all. All of the details there, again, at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. If you'd like to follow me on the TikTok, I'm on there as Big John Small. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.